Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Clue, the motherfucking Don, with another episode of Black Wall Music. And this is actually my first Hometown Hero edition interview. I got one of my homies from school. I've known this cat for a long time. Been seeing him do his thing for a long time. And I really want him to just come on here and tell us what he's been up to. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and let him introduce himself.
Yo, it's your boy Skinny J, aka J Holly. Pretty much the CEO of Creativity and Collaboration. And I appreciate you just giving me the opportunity, bro. Like you said, we've been knowing each other for a while, and I'm here. So whatever you need from me, I'm ready.
Hey, I appreciate you, my G, because I've been seeing you do a lot of shit, man. Like every time I see you post something, like you are literally either somewhere or helping somebody, and that's something that's a big deal, especially today with social media. You see a lot of bullshit, like you see a lot of bullshit. So I know I appreciate your posts when I actually see you doing shit. So like, can you tell me more about your company? What exactly is creativity collaboration?
All right, bet, and I appreciate you just for noticing. So pretty much creativity and collaboration is pretty much a company I started in school, just being a creative. In school you trying to find yourself, and me and you did our ROTC together, but it was just like after school, what do we go next? And it was just I knew I was different, and then just helping people was just something that I was just brought up to do. So I just wanted to take it and just see what can I do. So with the creativity part, it comes in with bringing creatives like ourselves, from photographers to models to anybody who has that creative mind state, to going out in different communities. And the collaboration part starts with helping within your community. So, we have these troubled communities that, kids, they go to gun violence or they go to other things, but let's change the narrative, and let's collab with them, and help the homeless or feed the homeless, or pretty much do little stuff like clean a park, and collab together, just to show them different routes of doing things instead of always gun violence or resorting to going to gangs and stuff in that nature.
For sure. Okay. Okay. And I mean, you tell me more about what you did with, like more specifically the tent city. So I know people don't, a lot of people
Oh
don't
yeah, yeah,
outside
yeah.
of Charlotte don't really know too much about what
I
actually
got you.
what tent city was
So
and what it happened.
I just break it down to you. So like pretty much like after school, I went off to college, everything, and then I was out there in LA for a while, and like I'm back and forth LA to Charlotte. But just if you know LA, you know about Skid Row, and Skid Row is like an overpopulated homeless community to where it's one way in, one way out, and just being out there, just meeting people and just talking to people, I'm just like, what can I do to help? And just working for Adidas, it was just like something. I always get free sneakers and I get shoes, and it was just like it was people out there with no shoes on their feet, and that was just concerning because it's like you got rain, snow, whatever case may be. It was just like, wow, like this going on here, I know it's going on in different other cities. So push going forward, I was just like, okay, what can I do? Like, reach out to people, get socks, provide shoes. But then, that being said, we in Charlotte, we had our own little thing going on with Tent City, to where the homeless at one point, when COVID, spiked up, the homeless shelter shut down. So these people couldn't go nowhere. So basically, they had to make shelter on the street, and it took over, pretty much a street like Graham Street, all the way around a homeless shelter, to where these people sat there, cold, raining, just intense. They had to figure out food. They had to figure out how to, from shelter, from the rain, how to stay warm. Like, and they were out there, during the whole entire winter to, almost the start of everything. So it was just like with that, knowing these people, because I've been, working in the homeless shelter and just meeting some of these people I've been knowing for a long time. So to see them not have anything, it was just like I got to think something fast, and then work with other organizations that I worked with, just to see what we can do. And it was pretty much I was with these people every day, going out there checking on them if they needed books, if they needed socks, anything in that nature.
So
My
you
company
said
and
books
other
like kids.
organizations. Yeah, like it was kids out there, like kids, little kids. You even had some tenants that had pets, and the pets were starving. So it was like from books, book bags, like you name it. Like kids who was in school, they couldn't even go back to school because they were homeless. So it was like a lot going on to where a lot of people, they didn't really know what was going on till they saw, oh man, I drive down this street or I'm going to work and I see all these people out here and they're in these tents that's just wet, damp, and it's just nothing they can really do about it because they don't know their situation.
Yeah. So so I mean, what were some of the changes that you were able to make out there? I mean, like, or I know it may have not just been
So,
you or some other companies. I mean, some other organizations.
oh yeah, yeah, it was the change. I mean, it's I can't take all the credit, but you had multiple organizations out here in Charlotte that we provided that stand still on the ground running to where, granted, we were their backbone out there, but then when it was time to relocate them, it was where they didn't have nobody, to where we came in and we provided bins, and we provided them to um where they was going to next, because it was basically at the point where they were out there for so long, the tenants who owned that land was pretty much saying you got to go at a certain point. And these people who's been out here for a year, it's like you tell somebody they got to go and they don't have nowhere to go. like
You talking about
like
the
what?
same people that own the land for the homeless shelter that was shut down?
No, the people who own the homeless shelter, they can take, basically I'll break it down to you, the shelter can take so many people. Cities start evolving when they couldn't house as many people, because with COVID and everything, it was like, say for example, one shelter can take up to 60 beds, but you got 200 people in line. The rest of that equation, they got to figure out what they're gonna do. And at a
Yeah.
certain point, if I know I'm not gonna be able to get into this shelter, I gotta find me, or I gotta seek shelter somewhere, because it's raining.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't ate, or whatever case may be. But the tenants who own the land that they set up tents on, they were saying these people had to go because technically they're on their land. They're trespassing at this point,
Mm-hmm.
as they would say.
Yeah. Damn, that's wild as hell, man. Like I wish I knew more about what was actually happening. Like I honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I didn't actually start looking up stuff that when it came to Tent City until I saw you posting it. Because when I actually saw you posting it, and I remember I was actually talking to one of my homegirls from Charlotte, and she was just like, "Yeah, that shit's sad." She was like, "It just kind of came out of nowhere," and she was like, "Or I just never paid attention to it." But she was like, "But even then, that's more of an issue. Like, the fact that this shit is happening in such large numbers, and you said you knew people out there, so that's even more fucked up. You know, having to I'm assuming people that you grew up with or people that you remember from the hood or whatnot.
Yeah, yeah, and it was just like, honestly, I'm not gonna even hold you. It was just like day-to-day people who, maybe they was on drugs or whatever case may be, and they had to be forced to be kicked out. But you know, I knew somebody who was like a school teacher at one point, and granted, lost everything and was out there trying to survive. So it was one of them things. It was sad, but at the same time, it was just COVID spiked another round to where these people couldn't go nowhere. So at the end of the day, it was at a point to where they had to set fires at nighttime just to stay warm. But then you also had, with these fires, it was also hazardous because you have a tent right beside, you have a fire trying to stay warm. So it's either,
Yeah,
I try and stay warm, or, I try and get some sleep, or I just go
freeze.
cold and be numb to everything that's going on.
That's wild. Like it's. I mean, I guess I'm kind of speechless. Like it's just really crazy just to. I mean, that stuff like that is happening everywhere, and like you
Yeah.
mentioned LA, you mentioned Skid Row. It's like, okay, you knew about Skid Row before you probably went to Skid Row, but you never knew what it actually looked like until you got there. To imagine something similar, even on a smaller scale, whatever you want to see, imagine something similar in my own city, it's kind of fucked up. It kind of fucks with your head. But I mean, tell me some positive outcomes that have come from that. Like I mean, like about the fact you were giving out a lot of shoes, which I thought that was really dope. It's a big deal because I think the
Yeah,
importance of a good pair of shoes. It don't got to be the freshest, it don't got to be the hypest shit, but just a good pair of shoes. That shit goes a long way.
I got you. The positive from it, honestly, it was just, you know, as my company and the other organization, the positive is just basically, like I said, being their backbone and just being there for them, day to day. Like, a lot of people, even though Tent City is gone, I'm still every day going to where these people are staying at now. They're in shelter at a hotel, and then some of them are, in halfway houses, but they have a friend in me forever, because it's like I was there with them. And, like I tell a lot of people, it was crazy the stuff that was going on, but it was sad because a lot of them, they didn't have family here, they didn't have nobody. So somebody who, I didn't judge them, and even the other organizations, we don't judge. It was just like we know what you're going through, and we just want you to know we're here to help you. And that was like the positive to, like little events we had from like Valentine's Day. It was women out there with kids. We provided, Valentine's Day candy. We gave out clothing. We gave haircuts to the men. Like, we provided a lot. Like, even Christmas, we went out there and provided presents just for everyone, because, like, granted, they were out there, but they didn't have they don't have no family. And you think about, Christmas, you celebrating with your family. You got people out there, they didn't have nobody, didn't even get a
Yeah,
Christmas meal. So it was like we was out there to provide, like, we got you, we're here for you. And that was the positive that I got from it. And still, like today, I just spoke with one of my friends, Fred, and he got a job, like he's working at Wendy's. And and just to see him prosper. And he telling me like, hey, I'm gonna call you back, I'll call you later, like on first day on the job. And just to see him, he was out there living in a tent, to now he's living in a halfway house, and now he has a job. So that's
yeah,
telling me, we're gonna keep this ball rolling, because I want to see Fred in a car. I want to see him have a house, a family. Like, I just want to be there for, when he keeps going, it's gonna me behind him, motivating him to keep going, saying, I'm here with you step by step.
yeah. Okay, yeah, that's amazing, man. That was actually going to be my next question, so I'm glad you brought that up. As far as some success stories that you have from things that you've seen out there, so definitely a shout out to Fred. Yo, if you ever listen to this, bro, congratulations, my G. Keep going, like for real, for real. I don't even know you, but I'm hella proud of you. Like
Oh,
definitely keep doing
he
your thing.
probably gonna let. I don't know how you run it back, but we'll make sure he listens, because he really, like, he's a good guy, man. And it was just one of the ones that I think, at first he needed direction, but he sees now the vision that, granted, we all want to see him win. And like,
Yeah.
he had to believe in himself. And he had to have some people to believe in him. But you know
Hey, sometimes it takes is somebody to really believe in you, because not everybody has that. Not everybody has that growing up, and not everybody has those role models to look at. And that kind of segues me into my next point: role models. Like whether it be people that you grew up with, people that raised you, people that you met later on in life. Like name some of your role models and kind of what they taught you.
my role models, I gotta say, man, it's honestly, it gotta be my family, my friends, and just honestly, just just people that I see, going through life, living life, but also they don't need to take credit. They are that provider to. They want to see everybody win. So anybody who has that going for them as a message, that motivates me, because I'm a person to where, like, I support heavy. And it's like somebody asks me like, yo, why you support so much? And I tell them back, low live my dog Nipsey. But I remember, graduating college and getting an internship with him, and just to see him support so many people. And then, going forward, just to see that in my mind, that made me say, like, I gotta support people. Like, I want to use that same formula, because I'm gonna see the outcome when it comes back folded.
Yeah. That's some real shit, man. And I'm glad you brought that up as well, because so you said you had an internship with Nipsey, and I know we talked about it a little offline. And for everybody that's in here, we will be talking more about his internship on part two of this podcast. This podcast is actually going to have a part two and bringing back my boy Jay Holly so we can dive deeper into that. But just kind of just skimming over the top, because I know. So I'm not even going. I'm gonna keep it a stack. I knew of Nipsey prior to his death. Victory Lap was my shit. I heard a little bit of Blue Laces too, but it wasn't like I wasn't like I ain't gonna say I was just a dedicated Nipsey fan. Once all that shit happened, unfortunately, it took for all that shit to happen for me to actually see a lot of the things that he was doing in the community, a lot of the shit that he had put people on, a lot of the moves that he was making, and I started taking pages out of his book, and he turned into an inspiration for me. So somebody who actually had the opportunity to meet him and to work with him, like, what were just some of the like real top level inspiration that he kind of put on you?
Man, the inspiration I would say is just being in his presence. That was an opportunity that was presented to me by my cousin, who was like Nipsey right hand. Um, and it was just pretty much he's like, what you doing, out of school and stuff. And he was like, I want you to meet with Nipsey because like he got this marathon thing going. And I always knew of Nipsey, like, listen to his music, big fan. But I'm like, you want me to do what? You gonna introduce me
Yeah,
this? And so, my cousin does everything. He get the ball rolling with it. And just over the years, the summers being with him, like I got pictures and offline, I can send them to you just of like the smart store grand opening, like being there. It's just the game soaked up. And I was just somebody who was going to get coffee or just to do this
yeah,
and
yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
just running little side jobs, errands. But, you know, I didn't take it for granted. I didn't need a picture for validation. I didn't need, because it was like at the end of the day, I was doing what I need to be doing in there. Like I took all the game and just took what I did so serious because it was like an internship. Like didn't get paid or nothing, but it was like the game I got soaked up in there
Oh,
just
you
from
got
meeting
paid.
other people,
Yeah,
or just just seeing people that I would never see like celebrities and just understanding, just how Nipsey was the person he was. Like he supported anybody who supported him. Like he didn't have to do it but he
yeah.
did.
Damn. and and I that's something that I find myself kind of not trying to compare myself at all to Nipsey, but I definitely try to put myself in a position where I support people as well. I try to plug everybody. I mean, that's essentially what my podcast is about: is trying to plug people in, get their message out there, get their shit out there, and at one point somebody did ask me, saying, why are you plugging everybody else in? Why are you plugging everybody else in more than yourself? And I'm just like, I mean, if you listening to me, you already listen to me. Well, I gotta talk more about myself for. I'm trying to plug everybody else in there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put that shit out there. But anyways, I guess really one of the last things I wanted to ask you just for this part one is do we got to go full circle with it and bring it back to music. What have been some of the most inspirational tracks, or more so some of the music that you listen to when before you got to go out there and spend time with the tenants, whether it was at Tent City or wherever they are being relocated? Because I mean I gotta imagine that has to take a toll on you. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah, for sure. If I'm bumping stuff, I am bumping, Bino Rideau. He's like a that's like, that's family. That's like a West Coast artist. Just him and Nipsey has a EP out. But I'm bumping Nipsey, I'm bumping Meek because like just being out there, like I was just talking to somebody the other day, like when we was out there during the cold transitioning them, and this was where we was like in the mud, it's raining, and we gotta move these people, before 10 o'clock the next morning, and we're out there till like almost 6. We started like at 8 p.m., but we're still out there like at 3 a.m. I got like Meat going through the AirPod, Nipsey, Biggie, Rick Ross, and it's just music just to keep me motivated, but also don't forget the mission. And the mission was to make sure we, transport these people safely. Granted they couldn't take everything, but to make sure they have some belongings that they can take or the cherished ones that they do, that they love. and just to make sure we get these people in safety, because it was just pretty much they were arresting tenants if they were out there after the date they were, they were supposed to leave, like evicted. So it was like me and my team and the other organizations, we was out there in the wee night cleaning up the debris, and then we had CMPD helping this stuff like that, but we was out there just moving stuff. you
Yeah,
know my car was filthy with mud and stuff. Like, it was just crazy, but to stay motivated, and like even one of my friends who helped, he was just like, man, I don't want to do this. And but he told me this like the other day. He said I really had to check myself, because he was like, I had to look deep within and be like, that could be me at the end of the day out there. Somebody could have been trying to help me. And if I was the person not trying to help, like, who am I? And I think a lot of people don't realize, granted, we may see the homeless and laugh and this and that, but some of them, you just gotta realize, think about if the tables turn and you was in that predicament, like, you would want somebody to help you. And like I tell a lot of people, granted, you do got some janky ones, but you have some of them that are genuinely, you know, need help, or on drugs or anything like that, and they need a friend because they don't have nobody. So, but to fast forward back to the question, yeah, just having that music just to pump me up to where, like, granted, it's draining, but it was just to pump me up to say, hey, we not about to forget about this mission. We about to, get what we got to do, get these people to safety, make sure they good, and then we're gonna continue to keep checking on these people, because we don't want them to seem like they're forgotten about.
that's important, man. That's definitely important. And I know you probably gotten it from so many different places. And if you haven't, I just want to make sure that you get your roses while you can still smell them. I thank you for the work that you've been doing out there. I know that, just being from the city, there had to be somebody out there that I knew that you touched, even if I didn't know anybody. It's still family, it's still people from the hometown. So, like, I think everything that you and your organization have done, all the other organizations that were out there, CNPD helping out. I'm pretty sure the fire department maybe helped out as well, something like that. I just want to thank all of y'all, more specifically you, bro, because you've been working, man. You definitely been working, and that's one
I
thing.
appreciate that, bro. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
you don't do it for the clout. Like, you don't do it for I was literally just talking to my girl. I was like, I pay attention to the, like, stuff that you post, but I was like, your stuff not public. You not, doing all these crazy hashtags. You don't care if anybody sees it outside of the people that
Yeah,
fuck
and
with
that's
you.
crazy you say that, because like a lot of people, they be like, why you don't take pictures? And I was like, honestly, I be so much helping people, I don't need a picture. But the pictures like you see I may post, there might be somebody like a friend of mine who was out
Take a
there,
picture of you.
and they capture that moment, and it's just like, granted, less, because we don't say homeless, but we say less fortunate. They know when it's genuine. So where, you got some people who come down there with a camera phone, and they'll kick it out your face. But if you got me down there and you got somebody, and I sit there and say, hey, Leslie, can I get a picture with you? They go, oh, Jay, yeah, of course you can, because they already know I'm coming from a genuine place. I've been knowing them for years, or just knowing them just for the time being. And it's just like, Jay is not gonna take this picture just to promote it. Like the picture you see me with handing, providing that man with shoes. My friend Josh took that, and he said, "Bro, like, I broke down and cried when I took that picture, because he said that man was so happy that you provided him with a pair of shoes." And I was like, honestly, I said I was in the moment, because it was just like the shoes he had on, the front toe was busting out of them. I was concerned, and at the end of the day, in my bag, I gotta, I asked, what's your size? If I got your size, I'm gonna swap them shoes out. And like I tell a lot of people, I'm gonna take them shoes, and we're gonna take them to, it's this recycling company I've been with, as I swap shoes out. But pretty much I give shoes out, but I swap them out for the old shoes, so we can recycle them and use them back in the universe. So it's like, pretty much it's like a swap deal with me as I give shoes out, because at the end of the day, I want to take what you got on, but I also want to reusable and put it back out there so we
Yeah,
can get more product. So, but it's those moments, that I don't need that validation, because I'm out there, like I'm with them, like.
I feel like that's when the true success comes, when you just start doing shit true to yourself and you just really just sticking to what you got going on, man. And like I said, I definitely I appreciate that aspect about you. And I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of wrap it up here, so we don't go too much into it, because we will be having a part two
Oh
of
yeah, yeah.
this podcast, and we're definitely gonna dive a lot more into just some of the other things that you've been doing with your foundation, and also diving a lot more into some details, hopefully about that Nipsey Hustle
Oh yeah, yeah.
internship that you
Part
did.
two. You got it first because like I told you, I don't really do podcasts. But when you hit me, it's like you've been my dog and you've been solid. Like, and I appreciate what you doing and just like the moves. Like, me and you, we was young cats like in
Yeah,
ROTC, like with no chin hair, no
no chin
beard.
hair,
You
baby.
feel me? And it's just
Full
like,
beards out this motherfucker now.
yeah, and to see where we at now is beautiful. And it's like, granted, we didn't, we stayed in touch, be with Facebook, but it's just a simple fact, like with Kings, and just to see what we doing, and that was like even me when I hit you, it's like, yo, I see what you doing with the merch. I like what you doing, and that's just even something where part two we gonna get into fashion, my all that, like, and it's just like I
Yeah,
said,
we
if
ain't
it's
even talk about
organic.
that, man, because you be on it, bro. We ain't even talk about
Man,
that.
I'm just a small fry out here. I'm a small fry,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, okay, because they are trying to tell you everything every time I see, and then I'm a Nike person, but like you be making me want to go buy some goddamn Adidas. Like I ain't gonna
Man,
bullshit. I bought
I
my first pair of Yeezys because I seen you wearing them motherfuckers. I ain't gonna lie.
man, I ain't gonna hold you now. Like I got Jordans for days, but like honestly, I don't work for Nike before. I done worked at Foot Locker, but I'm not gonna hold nobody. When I work to Adidas, Adidas have taken care of me to where I'm almost like on my 8 years with them, and it's like, bro, like I don't beat nobody who wear what you like, but I'm telling you now, Adidas, we got it. Like I tell a lot of people. Like I love it, and no offense to all the other brands because they doing beautiful things,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Adidas, that's my heart, they provide so many opportunities, and it's just one of them things. Like I put it on, like a lot of people they be like, man, if you want to talk about Adidas and you need this or you need to find this, go talk to Jay because he gonna know, So
Hey, and actually, that's something fun that we could do next time. We could have a top three. Top. I can do my top three Nikes, and you can do your top three Adidas,
hey, I'm with it, man.
and we can
I'm
have
with
people
it.
vote. But yeah,
I'm
man. Like I said, I ain't gonna keep you too much longer, man. We gonna pretty much keep it 30 minutes on the dot. But I appreciate you again for coming through. Everybody for coming in and tapping in. Definitely, I appreciate you. Let the people know where they can find you. Like, if you have like if the creativity collaboration has
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
social media platforms.
Social media, pretty much Instagram _skinny J_. My company, Creativity and Collaboration, is Creativity X Collaboration. You can find it on Instagram. Pretty much, we are creators for the people, for the community. You'll see us in different cities, and then pretty much, I'm just thinking about something. Probably part two. I'll probably get with you offline. Me and you can probably do like a collab, and just give away some stuff,
Hey,
to
I'm
like a
with it.
lucky person, or and just to get that ball rolling, just to get introduce you to my side of people and then your side, and just because I'm all for just collaborating with people who I think doing amazing, great work, and I appreciate you, like, just for even reaching out, and just also just being my dog and just being solid, like. You just don't know, like, all we run it back some years, and it's just like to see where
Yeah,
we at, and like, granted, we went to school in the trenches, and it's like to see us come up on top, and it's just like, granted, some of us
and a lot
failed,
of them may make it out.
yeah, didn't make it out, or they somewhere stuck, but it's just like you see the ones who really, took life serious, and they took, we took what we had to do, but we didn't let that stop us.
Big facts, man. We gonna keep on going, and I actually like that idea about a collaboration. I just did a giveaway not too long ago. We gonna get another one going because
Oh
I'm
yeah,
down with that shit, man.
I
Yeah, we
feel
gonna
you, man.
talk more offline, man. But once again, I appreciate you coming on. This everybody. This has been Clue the motherfucking Don, of course. Black Wall Music Podcast, part one of the Hometown Heroes interview with Mr. J Holly. I appreciate you, bro. And like I said, I'll be dropping the. We'll talk offline, and I'll drop the date and the time for part two.
Oh yeah, let me know soon as you ready for part two. Let me know. I'm with it. My dog for real. Like I
I got
salute
you,
you
G.
and I appreciate you.
Already, man.